In a world fractured by its own downfall, where silence speaks louder than words, and the remnants of humanity cling to the vestiges of a shattered society, our stories unfold. This is the power of setting and narrative, a silent force that shapes the destiny of characters and carves the path of their journeys.
Sometimes brothers make mistakes.
But what happens when the world they navigate is indifferent to their struggle? When their actions echo into a void with no reflection, no answer, no reciprocity?
And you will die savagely.
The tales of Arthur Morgan and Ellie are but two threads in a rich tapestry of narratives that explore this complex relationship.
Stay with me.
From the wild frontiers of Red Dead Redemption 2 to the post-pandemic streets of The Last of Us, settings do not merely serve as a backdrop, but as a catalyst that irrevocably changes those who dare traverse its terrains.
Everything happens for a reason.
As we embark on this journey through pixels and prose, we'll delve deep into the symbiotic dance between the world and the wanderer. We'll seek understanding in the silent monologues of isolation, where actions seem to bear no fruit, where effort seems unrewarded, and where the abyss does not stare back. Join me as we explore the intricate web of setting and character, examine the potent abundance of reaction for every action, and dissect the silent stories of survival that whisper through the ages, from the screens to the pages of history.
I want what you want, but not at any cost.
Welcome to The Setting Within and Without.
I really hope you make it.
The stage is set, not with bricks and mortar, but with mountains and rivers, with ruins of a society lost in the begrudging seeds of civilization. In Red Dead Redemption 2, the dying West is more than mere scenery. It's a character in its own right, a force that molds Arthur Morgan and his gang. As the sun sets on their way of life, every tree, town, and trail they traverse whispers of change, relentless and unforgiving. In stark contrast, The Last of Us presents us with a world where humanity is not fading away, but rather is violently uprooted. Here, the environment is not just a backdrop for Joel and Ellie's story, but a testament to the fragility of our societal constructs. It is in this silence of abandonment where our characters find the space to grow, to reveal their true selves. Thoreau once sought isolation in Walden to find essence and simplicity away from society. His reflections echo through time, finding resonance in our characters' journeys. The settings they inhabit force them into introspection, into confrontation with a world that no longer upholds the rules they once knew.
This boy was mine.
Philosophically, Nietzsche discussed the abyss as a metaphor for deep inquiry and self-reflection. When our protagonists face the wilderness, the decaying cities, they're staring into their personal abysses, places where society's gaze does not reach. It allows them to project their inner turmoil without the hope of an answering reflection. The theme I'm talking about here, where characters are shaped by their environment even as they understand their own potential futility, is a powerful narrative force. It often reflects real human experiences and emotions, which can deeply resonate with players. It's like watching a sunset. There's beauty in the moment, even as it signals the day's end. In these games, the setting is not just a backdrop, it's a living component that enforces the narrative's direction and the character's development. For example, in The Last of Us, the post-pandemic world is relentless and unforgiving, stripping characters of luxury and forcing them to confront the raw essentials of survival and morality. Joel's actions and decisions are directly influenced by the loss and violence that pervade this new world.
Joel, this way.
Red Dead Redemption 2 shows the Old West being slowly overtaken by modernity. The characters, especially Arthur Morgan, grapple with their obsolescence in a world that no longer has a place for outlaws. The setting here is a catalyst for introspection and personal evolution, making the characters question their life choices as they face the inevitable march of progress. In such narratives, the protagonists often know they're a part of a dying breed or a world slipping away, yet they persist. This stubborn adherence to their ways or the path they've chosen adds a layer of tragedy to the story. It speaks to the human condition, our desire to find meaning, to fight against the dying light, even when we suspect the fight might be in vain.
Arthur.
These themes can feel despairing, but they offer a poignant look at resilience and the human spirit. Characters may not be able to stop the change, but their journey to the end is where their stories are truly told, where their principles and values are tested and revealed. It's in this space that players often find the most compelling drama and the most profound reflections of themselves and the world around them. The theme of persisting against impending despair has been artfully captured in several other games as well. BioShock is a notable example. The characters in the underwater city of Rapture are surrounded by the ruins of a failed utopia. The environment is oppressive, a constant reminder of grand ideas gone horrifically awry. Yet the characters push through their twisted realities, clinging to scraps of hope or power. Spec Ops: The Line is another game that explores this theme. It plunges its protagonist, Captain Walker, into a Dubai ravaged by sandstorms. The setting here is both physical and psychological, challenging his mortality and slowly unraveling his sanity. It's a descent into madness, yet Walker is driven to complete his mission despite the futility becoming clearer with every step. The theme we're drawn to here is like a siren song of narratives. It's compelling because it's so human, this blend of resilience in the face of certain doom. There's something about the struggle, even in vain, that we find nobly human. We know the end is coming. The odds are insurmountable, yet there's a part of us that admires the fight, the refusal to give in. This persistence might stem from hope, duty, or sheer stubbornness. It's a testament to human tenacity. And in these stories, there's often a sliver of redemption or revelation. Through these doomed journeys, characters often find a truth about themselves or their world, making their struggle meaningful in a way that success alone could never be. It's about the journey, not the destination. A journey that often leads to self-discovery and profound truths about human nature. Let's return to Red Dead Redemption 2, as it's a poignant portrayal of this theme. The game is set during the decline of the American frontier, with the Wild West being tamed by advancing modernity. The protagonist, Arthur Morgan, and his gang are outlaws, anachronisms in a world that's rapidly changing around them. The environment, the encroaching civilization, the despairing, untamed landscapes serve as a constant reminder that their way of life is ending. As the gang moves from place to place, fleeing from the law and internal conflicts, the setting of each camp reflects their gradual disintegration. From the cold, harsh mountains to the swamps brimming with disease, the environment is unkind, shaping their experiences and chiseling away at their resolve. Arthur, in particular, embodies this theme. Despite the changing times and his worsening illness, he pushes forward. His journey is one of introspection, spurred by the environment's challenges. The game's setting doesn't just influence the gang's physical circumstances, it also affects their mentality, forcing them to confront the futility of their resistance to change. Yet, they ride on, trying to cling to the remnants of their past glory, engaging in heists and skirmishes, even as they sense the futility of their actions. Arthur's arc is especially emblematic of this struggle as he faces his own mortality and the collapse of everything he's known. By the end, the game makes it clear that the setting, the relentless march of time and society's evolution, has shaped these characters far more than they have shaped it. Arthur's fight to see his ideals through to the end, even as he confronts his own demise, is a powerful testament to the theme of persisting against inevitable despair. The theme of the individual's grappling with societal change is nuanced. It's not just about the encroachment of the modern world, but also about the character's internal conflicts with their own principles and desires for freedom. They're caught in a liminal space, neither able to return to their idealized past, nor fully embrace the future that's unfolding before them. Besides the primary theme of change, the game also explores redemption, a desire to find salvation or peace amid the chaos of their lives. Characters like Arthur Morgan seek redemption in different ways, perhaps by helping others or trying to make amends for past sins, suggesting that amidst the inevitability of societal progression, personal salvation can be sought. In Red Dead Redemption, loyalty and betrayal are other strong themes. The gang members' loyalty to each other and their leader Dutch is tested repeatedly. The bonds that tie them are strong, but as the pressure of survival mounts, cracks appear. The betrayal theme often intertwines with the overall arc of losing to progress, emphasizing the personal costs of such a struggle. Identity is also a significant theme. The characters question who they are beyond being outlaws. They contemplate if there's more to life than the criminal path they've walked, and what legacy they'll leave behind. This is especially poignant in Arthur's case, as his illness progresses. Lastly, the theme of family, both blood and chosen, is prevalent. The gang operates like a family, with strong ties and shared experiences binding them together. This family dynamic is both their greatest strength and, as the end approaches, a profound weakness, as their shared identity crumbles with the old ways. The beauty of Red Dead Redemption 2 lies in how these themes intertwine, crafting a rich narrative tapestry that resonates deeply with the players, encouraging them to reflect on their own responses to inevitable change. The Last of Us Part 1 offers a profound look at how characters are shaped by their environment in a post-apocalyptic setting where societal norms have collapsed. The core theme revolves around survival and the lengths one will go to protect those they care about, in this case Joel's evolving relationship with Ellie. The game explores the theme of hope amidst despair. Joel and Ellie's journey across the remnants of the United States is as much about surviving the infected and other survivors as it is about holding on to the human connections that bring meaning to their lives. The hope for a cure with Ellie's immunity is a faint light in a dark world, driving the narrative forward. Loss and grief are integral to Joel's character. The loss of his daughter at the outbreak's onset haunts him, and the post-apocalyptic world only exacerbates his grief, influencing his actions and decisions throughout the game. It's the backdrop for the development of his paternal bond with Ellie, which becomes a central aspect of the story. Trust is another significant theme. The characters must navigate a world where trust is scarce, and betrayal can come from any quarter. Joel and Ellie's growing trust in one another stands in stark contrast to the uncertainty and treachery they face from others. Lastly, the theme of mortality and choice is ever present. The characters are often faced with morally ambiguous decisions, highlighting the erosion of societal norms and the personal code one adapts to survive. Joel's choices, especially towards the end, challenge the player to consider the complexities of right and wrong when every decision carries immense weight. In The Last of Us Part 1, the setting, a world reclaimed by nature and fraught with danger, shapes the characters into who they are, compelling them to find a semblance of humanity within the chaos, and leaving players with a lingering reflection on the human condition. The Last of Us Part 2 delves deeper into the complexities of its characters and the relentless, often cruel world they inhabit. It's a narrative about the cycle of violence and the consequences of seeking vengeance. Ellie's quest for revenge against Abby, who killed Joel, drives the plot. This single act of vengeance sends ripples through the lives of all characters involved. The game challenges players by later putting them in the shoes of Abby, offering a different perspective and showing that every antagonist is the protagonist of their own story.
You're done.
You want what I want, right?
End it. Now.
That's nice. It's also...
Abby's storyline introduces us to her motivations and the losses she has endured, mirroring Ellie's grief and anger. Her environment, too, has shaped her into a hardened survivor, but her journey shows her seeking redemption and struggling with the guilt of her actions. The game's setting in Seattle, with its warring factions, the WLF and the Seraphites, paints a picture of a world still engulfed in conflict, even amid the apocalypse. It serves as a backdrop to explore themes of tribalism, the us versus them mentality, and how that cycle of violence is perpetrated. The narrative also delves into trauma and its lasting impact on individuals. Ellie's PTSD, her flashbacks, and her inability to let go of Joel's death portray a deep psychological struggle, showing how the past continuously shapes the present. Themes of love and forgiveness are also explored, particularly with the introduction of Dina and Ellie's relationship. It presents a stark contrast to the overarching theme of revenge and highlights the choices available to those enveloped by pain and loss. Lastly, the game profoundly examines the cost of revenge. As Ellie follows her vengeful path, she loses connections, parts of herself, and ultimately, the cycle she perpetrates only leads to more suffering. A powerful statement on the futility of vengeance. The Last of Us Part 2 is a layered narrative that, through its setting and characters, deeply explores the darker aspects of human nature and the question of whether it's possible to break free from a cycle of violence once caught in its spiral. As we journey through these digital realms, from the untamed frontiers of Red Dead Redemption to the post-apocalyptic struggles of The Last of Us, we've seen how deeply an environment can shape its inhabitants, and how characters in turn leave their marks upon the world. These narratives are not just stories of survival or resilience against the inevitable, they are mirrors reflecting our own reality. They remind us that, like these characters, we too are shaped by the worlds we inhabit, worlds that challenge us, change us, and sometimes leave us in silent contemplation. In the end, these games are more than just escapism. They are a testament to the human spirit. They show us resilience in the face of despair. The search for meaning in a world that often feels indifferent, and the beauty of persisting even when the abyss doesn't stare back. As we turn off our screens and step back into our own lives, let's carry with us the lessons learned from these digital worlds. May we find strength in our own struggles, hope in our journeys, and the courage to face our own abyss, even when it offers no answers. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of setting, character, and the profound dance between them. Until our next narrative adventure, let's keep seeking stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.